Welcome back to assessment videos a la Dr. Doubet. We are rolling into one of the last few weeks that we'll have together in assessment. And we are starting to wrap things up. So this video will reflect that. Our agenda for today is to self-review your assessment questions that you've done and posted on discussion board. To prepare your assessment for administration. And that'll be like looking for the forum that works the best for you. And then next steps. First of all, when we talk at 10:30, I'm going to ask you any questions that you have about your stage 2 and rubric. So if there's anything that's been plaguing you about that, you can ask me at that time. And chances are the answers to that will benefit not just you, but others. I did send this announcement out, and I'm not sure if everybody saw it. And so I want to draw your attention to it, that when I say you should be able to align a rubric criteria with the knowledge or skill or understanding the learning goal it assesses, I mean, you should literally be able to say, like, this reflects skill 7. This reflects both K2 and skill 6. Like, you should literally be able to plug in, and you only have to do this in the expert column on your rubric. But this helps you make sure your rubric reflects your learning goals. And in doing so, it will help you, if you go back to your GRASP description or your PBL description, it will help you make sure that reflects your learning goals too. You guys did such good work on stage 1. I don't want you to forget all about it when you move into stage 2, as well as into the rubric, which is a part of stage 2. So if you have any questions about that, we can talk about that today too. All right. Your alignment guide. Once you have your stage 3 in good shape, you can complete your columns for stage 3. And as you do that, you might need to adjust stage 3 as necessary. Like maybe you fill in stage 3 and then you realize, oh gosh, I didn't assess this learning goal, and you have to go add it back into stage 3. You can complete the test column. You can do that with the information from your 3 assessment questions that you've made that you're going to send out to people, with the understanding that in real life, your other knowledge and skill goals would be assessed on a test as well. So you might have in this alignment guide, because we didn't have the time to be able to construct an entire test, you'll have some learning goals that are not assessed summatively. Because you can't necessarily squeeze every knowledge goal into a GRASP. It's easier for some content areas than others. It's easier for I would say not. It's easier for science than for social studies. We'll put it that way. Doesn't mean you can completely do it in science, but I think you can assess most of your learning goals on the GRASP. With social studies, you would rely on the test to get a lot of those knowledge goals in, a lot of that. All those people and places and times and all those things. And remember, there is a model alignment guide that you asked for posted in week 10, in the week 10 module. Okay, so that's just something that you're doing alongside. That's going to be due with your final. So you're just, that's kind of like an ongoing relationship with your alignment guide. Okay, so let's review assessment design. We're going to go over some of the things that we talked about last time. A powerfully balanced assessment question is going to strike the ideal balance between specificity and room. Specificity of your language so that so you actually discover what students do and do not get. So your language has to be specific enough that you really get what you're looking for. But there should be room for open-ended responses so that you can gauge the level and depth of each student's grasp. And this is really more for the short answer questions. The specificity of language is important in all 3. But for that short answer question, or that, that one of those, like constructive questions, there needs to be room for open-ended responses so that you really can see the level that they get it. So what I'd like you to do is to take a look at your feedback from the pre-assessment. Is there anything you need to take into account for these questions? So I'm going to have you pause this, go back and look at the feedback from your pre-assessment. Welcome back. Now consider the feedback you received from your peer reviewer on discussion board. What do you need to do to improve your questions? Go back, pause, and look at that. Okay, welcome back. Maybe you have questions stemming from the feedback you got from your peer reviewer, or from me if I was able to chime in time. What do you need to do? Like, what questions do you have about those questions on discussion board? Ooh, whoops. Well, that was crazy. And then if you haven't already done so, record your target answers for each question or list the criteria for a strong answer. What you need to change to make sure that students know what you're asking of them. Have you asked the question in such a way that students would know what you're looking for? And have you given away the answer for any of your questions, either within the question itself or with other questions? So you need to edit your questions as needed. You can do that now, or you can do that after we've met in our Zoom meeting. Okay, so once you've edited your questions and you feel really good about them, then you need to administer them. You need to send them out. And so we are going to look at potential digital tools for doing that. We are going to look at Google Forms, Padlet, Flipgrid, and GoFormative. I'm going to show you what it is. I'll show you briefly how it works, and then I'll show you the pros and cons of each of these tools. So this is brand new material here, folks. First ever in assessment coming to you, because usually we just give hard copies to people around us. So this is kind of a new frontier, and I think it's a valuable one. All right, Google Forms. If you have a Google account, I need to put on the do not disturb here. Stop, go away. All right, I'll do that in a minute. So if you have Google Forms, you completed one of these for me right before we came back from spring break. So let's Google Forms. If you have a Google account, you can get to them. So let's take a look at that. Let me turn on my do not disturb, which I don't see here. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Autumn Guild, in my other class, who told me to do that. Okay, so if you have a Google account, you just go to New, and you have to go to More. Usually it's not the first thing. It's a purple icon, Google Forms. So I'm going to click on that, Google Forms. And you can call it whatever you want to. Math, assessment, whatever you call it, whatever you pick the title. And then untitled question, option 1, you get to decide what form you want this to be in. So if you click on that, you can choose multiple choice, check boxes, drop down menu. Those are all multiple choice. Or you can pick a short answer, or you can pick a paragraph. All of those are, oh my gosh, you got a linear scale if you want them to rate, a multiple choice grid if you'd rather have it like that, and a checkbox grid, which I don't really understand. So you can require a response in each row. So let's make this a multiple choice question. I would say, how much none. One quart, and you just keep do like this and put in your things, and then you must say that it's required, or they can skip it. And then here you've got some other options, but really this is mostly what you want to rely on here. And you can add as many as you want to here. So that's how to do that. Let's say I wanted to do another question. I go right back here to my plus, add question. This one is going to be, why would a woodchuck chuck wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And I want it to be a short answer, and there we go. Or if I wanted it to be, and I would say this is required as well. If you want to get really pretty with it, you can customize the theme. You can choose an image. This is how I came up with your, like, oh, look, jelly beans. How fun is that? And then you can pick like a different color. Well, that already picks the color for me. So there you go. Or I could say, no, I would like this one instead. So that's a Google form. All right. So in terms of Google Forms, the pros are, why can't I figure out it? There's pros and cons for that. The benefits, it's user-friendly for you. I think it's really set up nicely for students. You can ask a variety of questions. You could do the true false and then say, explain your answer if you wanted to do that. And the data is displayed. If I need to actually go back and show you that, the data display. If I show you, let's go back to recent, iDrive, recent, look for one of these. That's an election that I did for the last month. Are we there already? There's another DFAC election. Good gracious. I really thought that I had done. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yikes. Okay, so 625 check-in. I go to look at that. I can look at my responses. I can have it shows me by pie chart. It shows me like the actual answer spelled out there. It's a little bit sometimes hard to correlate the answer with the person. So you can just go, if you go to question, then you can see Morgan is an overachiever and took the quiz twice. And then I could see what her actual responses were if I wanted to. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do this, or I could go click on individual. It would show me all of their answers for all of the questions. So different ways to do that. All right. So that's Google Forms. That's one of your options. When it's time to share it, you go send, and then you say you're going to do it via link, and then you copy the link and you post it. So send form. That's how you do that. All right. That is Google Forms. Drawbacks, there's no mechanism to collect student work that's not exclusively written. So if you want them to solve a math problem, et cetera, and show their work, you can't do that. All right, Padlet. Padlet is kind of, it gives you right here, this is an example of somebody that I worked with at Sutherland Middle School. And she said, chose the way you want to show that multiplying integers is repeated addition. And this is actually a Sternberg task, an analytical, practical, and creative. This is one person's response, and they were able to hold up the whiteboard. And if you want, I forgot I'm not on Padlet. If you click on that, you can see it better. You can see it more closely. So there's a way with Padlet for you to do the uploads. This is a shelf. She did 3 shelves with a question on each. And then each student, you could say, record your name and your answer. And they did that. So let's go look at Padlet really quickly to see you can only get 3 Padlets for free, but you can erase them and keep using them. So this one is my pause and post for 470, and I keep erasing it and then having students, I remade Tabitha's so I could share it with you. So they can, if you wanted to post on this, then you just go down here to thing and you click and So like she did not want to be in the video. Okay. So if I go to my dashboard with these, I want to make a Padlet. I think the shelf works really well if you have different questions. So I would pick the shelf format. And then you can, change what you want to say here. That changes what it is over here. The address, you can make it special, but then you just copy it to the clipboard and that's how you send it out. You can change the wallpaper to be, let's make it this pretty swirly one. You can change, or you could make a picture instead. That's kind of fun. So that's with wallpapers. You can make it as spiced up as you want it to be, or just have a plain background. And then you just give them the directions and they go, next, you're all set, start posting. And you send that, and you would write your question here, question 1, save. And then this is where students would post right there. Okay, so that is Padlet. Pros of Padlet is it's user-friendly for you, I think, and for students, and it provides a mechanism for collecting student work that's not exclusively written. So they can upload pictures or recordings. They can hold up, a picture of something, and somebody can just use the camera shot on there. Drawbacks: it's not great for multiple choice or short answer, and it's hard to sift through responses. Like you just have to scroll through the shelves. So that is Padlet. GoFormative, that you can get a free account. There's a variety of question formats and reports, and it allows you to provide feedback, assign points, etc. if you want to do that. This is an example you can actually use the write or the draw tool. So you can collect responses that are more than just words, but you can also do words if you want to. Let's take a look at that. GoFormative. New formative. So I'm going to add my title here. I would say assessment. Haha. Now I want to add a question. Do I want to add a question? Maybe there's multiple sections, upload my own content, all kinds of things that tells me what to do. I'm going to see if I can add a question, a multiple choice question. I would type my question and my answer. It looks just like Google Forms. Maybe I want to add another question, but I want it to be show your work. And then type your question, and then they go in there and they can draw. They have all kinds of different things that they can do when they get there. And then let's say I want to add a question. I want to go back to the plus again and add another question. This time I want it to be short answer. So a benefit of this that I don't know if I have on the slide is that you go to goformative.com. You'll have to set up an account, but you can have multiple question types all in the same form, and then the same response, and then it's easy to see. The data display is really nice as well. Benefits: it provides mechanisms for collecting work that's not exclusively written, so you can do show work, record your answer, multiple choice, all in the same thing. Easily digestible data display. It's not as user friendly for non-tech savvy people, and they'll email you a lot after you sign up, full disclosure. So that is GoFormative. I think, last, Flipgrid. Woohoo! Here you are. Look at your cute little faces. This is when you did the Flipgrid for the, Cameron. This is when you did the Flipgrid for the beginning of class, our first class meeting. If you wanted to do a Flipgrid yourself, let's go to Flipgrid. Flipgrid, here we go. You would sign up for an account, and then you create a grid. I've got grids for my different sections of differentiation for your class, for ELA methods. We've done a lot with that since coming back from the break. Here's yours, assessment. And so if I wanted to add one for you, I would add a new topic. You add a topic under a grid. Add a new topic. Here's my topic. Here's my question for you. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. I can also record a video instead of just doing this. I can add an emoji. Maybe I think that this is the appropriate emoji. I don't know what that means. Sketchy guy. And then I would create my topic. And then if you did that, then I have my link to send out to people. So it works the exact same way as the others. You just copy a link and send it to people. So Flipgrid. Benefits: you can collect work that's not exclusively written. It captures student thinking, and it's fun. It's not as user-friendly, and you'll have to capture student results on paper somehow in order to analyze for patterns. Now, here's another thing that you can do. You could do a Google form for your multiple choice answers, and then a Flipgrid link for your short answer if you wanted to. You could use a combination of forms. And that's another way. If whatever seems easiest to you to get your results, I encourage you to use that method. So you will pick the forum or the forums that you think will work best for your assessment questions. You'll plug your edited assessment questions in it, and you'll send the link to at least 15 guinea pigs we're looking for 12 responses. So you can send it to more, you're just hoping to get 12 responses. You can post it on social media if you'd like. And if you're not on social media, you can send me the link and I'll say, hey, one of my students wants you to take this test, and I'll post it on my Facebook page. So I'd be very happy to do that for you. So that's really what you need to work on next, is to edit your assessment questions, get them into the form you want, and send them out. So what's due by class time next week? Submit your stage 3. I'm going to sneeze. Just a second. Sorry. For feedback, there's a spot on Canvas where you can submit it for me to give you feedback, and then have your results from administering your assessment to at least 15 guinea pigs to use during the video. If you did a Flipgrid, you'll have to keep track of results, because what we're going to do during the video is like sort through your results and kind of put them in piles and think about what you would do next if these were your students. What you need to have read or interacted with by next time is several posted grading and homework articles, which will be available in the week 14 module of Canvas. All right, so get that thing sent out. Get your stage 3 spiced up or spruced up according to peer feedback, and post that for me for feedback. And I will see you at 10:30. Thanks, guys.